It is March. Everybody knows that March brings March Madness. The brackets are in full swing. The NCAA tournament starts tomorrow night. No, we're not going to start talking about basketball. What we are going to talk about is WrestleMania.
It's the madness, brother, the madness.
It is the madness. I love it. Why was that not the intro of the segment? Good grief. So it is WrestleMania season, and when WrestleMania season kicks up, here on Squared Circle Radio that we do lots of extra stuff. We like to try to do a WrestleMania segment on every show, and then the week of WrestleMania, we're going all out, new episodes every day talking about different WrestleMania stuff. So more on that in the coming weeks. Even more reason for you to subscribe to the channel. Nonetheless,
for the love of everything good, hit the button.
So all that to say, this WrestleMania, we are celebrating John Cena's final WrestleMania. Good guy, bad guy, doesn't matter. It's still John Cena's last WrestleMania, and he has had 16 WrestleMania matches. So we thought, what better way to celebrate than to put those 16 matches on a bracket, and let's figure out which one is the best. Now, I know that bracket might be a little hard to read. Just put your magnifying glass on, and you can see these seeds for this bracket were created by the Sportster. They put out an article and they ranked John Cena's 16 WrestleMania matches. So we used that as the seeds to determine our bracket. We have these matchups and we're going to talk about it. We're going to eliminate them one by one. Some of these I'm not happy to eliminate right off the bat, but I know it's going to happen. All right. So we are going to start at the top left of the bracket, the number one seed as ranked by Sportster. Their opinion, the best John Cena WrestleMania match is WrestleMania 23 against the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels. That was in 2007. And they put that up against the number 16 seed, The Undertaker, from WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans. A little bit unfair because the Cena HBK match went for about 25 to 30 minutes and Taker went for 5. And it's a fan favorite. Let's be honest, right, Andy? Like, we don't want to eliminate The Undertaker right off the bat, but is there any competition here with this?
No. I wish there was, because I probably am higher on the Taker Cena match because it was the least, like, it was the thing we were not expecting to have happen. Yes. And it happened, and it wasn't bad. Like, it was the best Taker had looked in years. It was the best way to use John Cena in that moment. But then again, you're talking about two of the greatest of all time in the ring at the greatest, like the show of shows at WrestleMania. It has to be Cena and Shawn.
And Jared, you and I were in the building for the Undertaker match. Like, we had just settled into our seats and we're blinking, and Taker's calling for the tombstone.
And it's interesting too that just recently Undertaker said that he was basically demanding like a 25 to 30 minute match where he ain't going out there. I still don't think it was the right call to do the squash, but it seems like that Take was outnumbered by Cena and Vince. And so what are you going to do? But yeah, man, to answer the question, there's no competition here. I mean, Cena and Shawn, that actually, whenever you first told me of the concept of this whole thing, that was what I pictured in my head. Like, that was just boom, went straight to that match. So
it's going to be hard to beat that match, but let's progress through the bracket and see what gets put up against it. Let's go to the number 8 versus 9 seed match. That is number 8, John Cena versus the Big Show and Edge in a triple threat match from WrestleMania 25 versus the 9 seed, John Cena versus Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania 30. This one is a toss up here. I went back and I watched both of these matches before doing this. It's difficult to go back and forth. Jared, I'll go to you first. If you're having to pick between these two matches, which way are you leaning?
Big Show Edge, 100%.
Okay, the triple threat.
If nothing else, just because Edge is involved. I mean, that's all you have to say, dude. I mean, you don't even have to watch the match. Edge is involved, it's better.
He is one of those top WrestleMania performers that probably don't get enough credit. You're 100% right there. Andy, I probably know where you're leaning here, but let me hear why.
Because Big Show's in the other one. No, I'm kidding. Like, I think taking everything into perspective, I think the story and the match itself between Cena and Bray was better, but then you come to the end and it falls apart. The other match, like, you get the big moment of the double AA, which is still wild that he was able to do that and pick him up. I really think this is a toss up. I do lean more towards Cena and Bray just because I think the story around it, heading into it, was better. But that's probably which way I would lean.
So I guess I'm going to side with Andy here. I'm going to go with Bray Wyatt match. I think that one moves on in the bracket for me. Jared, I'm like you. Anytime Edge is in a match, obviously I'm immediately drawn to it. The double AA spot is incredible. I just think this was I'm hard pressed to say this because I don't want anybody to think anything negative about Bray Wyatt and me saying this. I think this is the best version of Bray Wyatt that we ever got. So I think in this situation, putting him up against arguably still what a lot of people considered Super Cena. So just the contrast of styles and the way that he freaked Cena out and just a lot of the storytelling. I'm with Andy. I think I'm going to go Cena and Bray on this one. But again, we're still cranking here. Let's go to the next first round matchup. It is going to be from WrestleMania 29, a 4 seed, the second iteration, twice in a lifetime, as they would say, The Rock versus John Cena, WrestleMania 29. And we put that one up against the mixed tag team match from WrestleMania 33, John Cena and his then fiance, Nikki Bella, against Miz and his current and was wife then as well, Maurice. Let's see. Andy, kick us off on this one. Is there anything to talk about here?
This one doesn't seem like a contest to me. Like, I definitely lean towards Cena Rock. I don't think the Cena Rock matches are that great, to be honest, but the last one was better than the mixed tag match. Although, for the joke of sending through the engagement that never happened to the second round is very tempting. It's very tempting to send it through for that moment alone, but I still lean towards Cena Rock.
It was a heartstring moment, man. Like, I just wish they would. I wish they would have lasted. I thought it was a super cool story. We all
Bella Phil now. Phil.
Well, that's accurate. He broke up with us too. He did break up with us. Jared, any competition here?
No. And if you all try to argue, and Chris starts saying, "Oh, it's the Miz, and this is why," I'm gonna have to just my internet is just gonna go out again.
Don't worry, I think we're gonna be bashing the Miz here again pretty soon.
Yeah, we got another Miz one coming up here soon. All right, so Cena Rock 2 from WrestleMania 29 moves on. Let's move on to the 5-12 matchup, the 5 seed, John Cena versus Batista at WrestleMania 26. They put that one up against John Cena's first world title win, WrestleMania 21 against JBL. Jared, I'll go to you first.
Dude, I'm going Cena JBL. Yeah, I love JBL's character, and that was kind of during the time whenever I had quit watching as much because of high school and college and your friends and the girls and all that good stuff. But getting to kind of know JBL through listening to him and Conrad, dude, his character was so much better than he ever got credit for. And I just, hands down, man, no competition. I'm going JBL Cena.
Andy?
Is this Cena Batista? Is it the no holds barred or whatever?
No, this was straich up wrestling match.
Okay, that's what I thought. That I'm gonna go Cena JBL too. Then I don't think this is even really that close. Which one was the 12 seed? Did you say Cena JBL was the 12 seed?
Cena JBL is the 12. Yep.
That's crazy.
I feel like Chris is going to tell us why we're both wrong.
Probably, but I'm going towards Cena JBL.
Listen, this one was a toss-up for me. I was anxious to see where you guys landed on this. I'm honestly fine going either way. The reason that I say that is because I hadn't watched the Cena Batista match in a really long time, and I was more impressed than I thought I was going to be with some of the exchanges and Cena literally throwing Batista around like he was a rag doll. Some of the stuff in that match was really, really impressive. But for the sake of it being John Cena's first world title win against JBL, who was an incredibly dominant heel during the Ruthless Aggression era, and then the feud that seemingly happened after this, I'm totally agreeing. We'll go 3 for 3 with JBL there. All right, let's move to the other side of the bracket. The 2 seed in this bracket is, let me find it. Where did it go? There it is. From WrestleMania 28, the first iteration of Cena versus The Rock, which I do think this one was better than the second one. Andy can fight me on it. It's fine. Against the 15 seed, Andy brought it up earlier, John Cena versus Austin Theory from WrestleMania 39. Again, I think this one is probably an easy one, but Andy, what do you think here?
This is an easy one because it is Cena Rock won by a landslide in this one. It's crazy the spectrum of Cena matches at WrestleMania, because you have some that are like the top of the top, and then you look at some, you're like, man, these were like probably the worst ones on the show. Some of these, and Cena Theory was absolutely the worst one at WrestleMania 39. So it's got to go to Cena Rock 1.
And it kicked off the show. It kicked off the show, Jared, and it was just
I mean, Cena against Theory, that was 100% a Vince call, and he was completely wrong on that. Yep. What a waste of an opportunity for somebody to have gone against Cena. So, of course, you know my answer. There's no competition.
Completely agree. Like, I was in the crowd for WrestleMania 39, and it was the first match of the first night, and it just, like, it sucked the air out of the building. It was just, it's like, what is this? Like, it just did not work. All right, let's move on to the 7-10 matchup. This one's where it's going to get interesting again. Triple threat match from WrestleMania 24 rather, is in the 7 spot. That's Triple H, John Cena, and Randy Orton for the WWE Championship, matched up against the number 10 seed, the Firefly Funhouse match from the COVID WrestleMania. Andy, I can't wait to hear your perspective on this one.
Am I going first?
You're going first. Let's go.
Okay. It's very hard to judge the Firefly Funhouse match because that literally the world had just shut down and we did not know what to expect or what to do. That being said, I think what we got at that WrestleMania was 10 times better than anything we would have got in person.
Okay.
The triple threat, though, is really good, too. So going back and forth, looking at it, like the triple threat match was absolutely amazing. I am going to go biased, though, because I think just the creativity behind the Firefly Funhouse, doing what they did. I mean, the Boneyard match with AJ Styles and Undertaker, too. Like, both of those just completely stole that WrestleMania. That was weird and almost unwatchable. And those two segments were the only, like, those two matches were the only thing that I was glued to. And so for that reason, I would give it to the Firefly Funhouse.
I will say this before Jared gives his answer. If you're a longtime listener of this podcast, Jared and I have been doing this since before COVID. Jared and I actually did a live watch along of the Firefly Funhouse match because we didn't know what to expect. And we watched the match with the sound off and recorded a podcast. You talk about one of the weirdest things that we have ever done, because you needed the sound for that, Jared. We had no clue what was happening.
This, kids, is why you don't do things like LSD, because if you do those types of things, then you can create a match and think it's just the best thing ever. They're both crapshoots, man. I mean, the triple threat, it looks like a good match on paper, but I just remember, man, like watching that match and thinking, oh, this sucks. It should be good, but it sucks. And I'm going with the triple threat. The other is a complete turd. I don't know how anybody can enjoy such filth.
All right, so I'm the tiebreaker again. Bryce is still in the chat rocking with us, giving his picks. He's picking WrestleMania 24. This time I'm siding with Jared. We're going WrestleMania 24. The Firefly Funhouse match gets eliminated. That moves on. Sorry, Andy. That is one of my least favorite matches of all time. Just about anything will go over that. All right, let's move on.
I promise you the next Cena Miz match will not go over it.
I can argue that actually, but I won't.
I would rather go jump naked in a shark infested ocean than watch that again.
Good.
Really?
All right. This is going off the rails. Here we go.
Cover yourself in barbecue and then
there you go.
jump in.
Yeah. I use JR's barbecue.
All right. All right. The 3-14 matchup in this bracket is John Cena versus Triple H, the 3 seed. That's at WrestleMania 22. And we put that up against John Cena's first WrestleMania match, the 14 seed U.S. Championship match against the Big Show. I will go first here and say, as much as it's cool that John Cena had his first WrestleMania match in Madison Square Garden and he had a really good showing, the Triple H match, I can make an argument that it's number one. It's not because Shawn Michaels, but the Triple H match is way up there. I'm going Triple H. Jared, what say you?
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, just the Big Show. You can just say the Big Show, and that match is out.
Okay.
So, yeah, man. Triple H, like you said, it's hard to say because his match against Triple H was the second thing that popped in my head whenever you first told me of this concept. So it was HBK and then Triple H right behind it. So, yeah, man, I think this one could go all the way.
It's amazing how that works, right? Two of the best in-ring performers of all time. I mean, it's amazing how that works. Andy?
Yeah, it's Triple H. Like Jared said, anything with Big Show in it's automatically disqualified. So,
man, you guys are just hating on show tonight. All right, the last first round matchup, and then last first round matchup, and then it's going to get real juicy. The last one, the number 6 seed, John Cena versus Rusev from WrestleMania 31, up against the 11 seed. Yes, it made it all the way up to the 11 seed. Andy. John Cena versus The Miz from WrestleMania.
Oh my goodness.
It made it to the 11 seed?
It made it to the 11 seed.
Can we eliminate both these and just neither moves on?
You know, I'm not opposed to that. But
I'm giving the edge to Rusev because he came out in a tank. That was the best part of the whole match is when he came out in a tank.
And Lana was with him, yes.
And Lana was with him.
Okay. We'll give the edge to Rusev. There's not really much else to talk about there. I unfortunately, in going back through here, I rewatched all of these matches, and having to rewatch the Miz match. Oh, it was tough.
It's so bad.
It's bad. All right, let's move on to the second round. We have the number 1 seed John Cena versus the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels in the quarterfinals, up against the number 9 seed from WrestleMania 30, John Cena versus Bray Wyatt. Here we go. This one's going to be interesting. Jared, I'm going to you first.
So, Bray, and I hate that he's gone, but he never got to his potential in my mind that he could go to. Like, he was always this guy that is okay, but I saw the world ahead of him, and it's just a shame that he never got to live long enough to do that. But no, I'm going Shawn, man. Like I was saying, Shawn or Triple H could go all the way in my book.
Hard to argue with you there, Andy. Any thoughts?
No, I think it is Shawn Cena. Like that match was once in a generation that you get that kind of a match. So it was absolutely amazing. I will say I completely agree with you though, Chris, that this was the best version of Bray that we got.
Yes.
And there was so much more that we should have gotten from this character before things happened, and honestly, before he lost the Cena and all kind of fell off the rails from that point. But you put Cena and Shawn in a match at WrestleMania, and it's going to be hard to get beat by anybody. So you got to go Cena Shawn. One
thing that I tell you will beat it is the Raw match that they had a month later. That was 60 minutes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That match was so good. All right, let's move on. That match
had the right outcome.
Yes, it did. Yes, totally agree. Let's move on to the other quarterfinals. We've got the 4 seed Cena versus Rock 2 from WrestleMania 29, and we put that up against the 12 seed. Andy, you know how our 5-12 upsets go. John Cena versus JBL, the first title win, WrestleMania 21. That one is going to be tough. Jared, I'm going to go to you first here. Which way you leaning?
Okay, so tell me the two matches again. Let me think on this one.
We have John Cena versus The Rock from WrestleMania 29 when Cena wins the title from The Rock. And The Rock tears up his abdomen and gets hurt and all blah, blah, blah. Versus JBL, WrestleMania 21, Cena wins his first world title.
Man.
Here's a kicker. Here's one note that I found in going back and watching all these matches. What made the JBL match so good and so underrated that most people don't realize, there were no kickouts of finishers in that match. There was no clothesline from JBL. There was no multiple AAs from Cena. There was one AA and a pin, and it was over with. So to be able to wrestle that match with that, I mean, kudos to them.
I don't know what guidelines everybody's going by. I do think that Cena versus The Rock will by far be looked at as more historically significant. Even though his match with JBL was when he won his first title. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So I'm going with The Rock, dude. I think it was a more important match. But man, it's close.
Andy?
I'm going JBL for one reason, because I think you're absolutely right, Jared, that it was important to have Cena versus The Rock, but I think the first one captures that better than the second one, because this is the second one we're talking about, right?
Yes, that's correct. Second one.
Okay, so I would lean more towards JBL because, I think the match was better between Cena and JBL. Like you said, obviously Rock got hurt like almost from the beginning of this match, like instantly got hurt in a way. But you couldn't really tell it. But it seemed like
I watched back for that too, and I couldn't tell it either.
Yeah, so I still lean towards JBL though, just because I think the significance of Cena winning his first title outweighs the second matchup between Cena and Rock.
I don't feel strongly enough to sit here and argue with you. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I will I'll make it easy for you guys. I'm going JBL. I'm putting JBL in the semifinals of this. I'm going that way. So which means let's go ahead and knock out this side of the bracket. The 12 seed making a run to the final four, if you will. John Cena versus JBL from WrestleMania 21 going up against the 1 seed. It is a tough hill to climb. John Cena versus the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels from WrestleMania 23. Who goes on to the finals, Jared, in this matchup?
Shawn. Shawn. That's it.
You're not going to get any argument from me. I mean, we all are going to give our flowers to JBL, but Andy's not going to argue. Jared's not going to argue. Shawn Michaels is in the finals of this one. And we will wait to see who is on the other side. Let's go to the other Cena Rock matchup. That is from WrestleMania 28 in Miami, once in a lifetime, as they like to say. And we put that one up against the triple threat match from WrestleMania 24. Triple H, Randy Orton, and John Cena. Let's remember, John Cena lost this match. It was actually Randy Orton that came out as the victor here. So 2 matches that Cena lost going up against each other. Andy, I'll let you have the floor first.
I think both matches have their bright spots and both matches have their really low spots. I think is a very safe way to put it. But again, Rock Cena, I mean, that's the previous generation's version, or the PG era version of Hogan Rock at WrestleMania. Like, let's just call it what it is. I think you can't, understate that fact. You get
Hogan
the cocky
Warrior.
Cena. Yeah, you get the
Hogan
cocky
Warrior,
Cena. Yeah. Final, like, Cena starting to slowly play a little heelish, like being not his normal self, and it cost him. So I would give it to Cena Rock 1.
Yeah,
Jared?
I agree. If I hadn't seen either match and you just showed me on paper, okay, these 2 matches, then on paper I think that someone could argue for either. But the triple threat match just did not live up to what it should have been in my eyes.
Yep.
Yeah, there were a lot of big matches like that. I mean, even the Batista match that we referenced earlier, maybe happened a couple years too late. Like, I get the Cena Batista match at 26 Probably should have happened at 21 or 22, but they were trying to keep them separate, have the rise of the guys. Same thing I think here with Orton, Triple H, and Cena. A couple years before that, I think would have been a prime spot for it. All right, let's move on. Speaking of Triple H, he is the 3 seed in this bracket, and he takes on the 6 seed, Rusev, at WrestleMania 31. I'm sorry, Andy. There is no discussion that's going to be had here. There is no chance, as Vince McMahon would say, that Rusev.
No chance in hell.
Andy, it's Triple H all the way.
Yeah. No, this one's not even close. It's Triple H and Cena.
Not even close. Okay. Well, Triple H and Cena as the 3 seed going up against the 2 seed from WrestleMania 28. Once in a lifetime, Rock and Cena. Andy, I'll let you have the floor first on this one. Where do you lean?
This one to me is not close either. Like I think Triple H and Cena absolutely clear the first meeting between Rock and Cena. I think the story itself going into the first one again was interesting. We got a different side of Cena. Obviously, the promo battles between these two guys were fantastic. But the bell had to ring at some point. And when the bell rang, Triple H and Cena was 1,000 times better than anything we got from Cena and Rock. So because of that, I go Cena, Triple H.
Jared, as much as people wanted to bury Triple H in this era for doing what he was doing or whatever, dude tapped out to John Cena in the main event of WrestleMania. So like, if you're not putting people over, what is that? Like he absolutely did. So I think it's all 3 of us in agreement. Triple H moves on to the finals. So that brings us to the showdown. John Cena and Triple H from WrestleMania 22. It was supposed to be the WrestleMania 23 match, but Triple H got hurt. And instead, who took his place? His old buddy Shawn Michaels. And that's the other matchup in the finals, WrestleMania 23. Triple H, Shawn Michaels. These 2 incredible John Cena matches. I'm curious as to where Jared leans on this, because these are the 2 matches that you thought of whenever we created this concept. So where do we lean?
Dude, I'm going HBK. I think an argument. You boys can sit here and argue Triple H. I mean, I wouldn't care. I'd be like, okay, well, I mean, I guess I'm wrong. It's so close. It's that close. But Shawn beats him, dude. It was just that match, just like Shawn's matches with The Undertaker. Just like what we were talking about, the John Cena promo tonight. Yep. That was perfection.
Yep. Andy, any thoughts? Any thoughts here? Is this close?
I mean, we're talking about 3 of the greatest WrestleMania performers of all time, and Triple H, Shawn, and Cena.
Throw Taker in there.
Throw Taker in there. There's no competition between those 4. I love Triple H. I love this match between Cena and Triple H. But you only catch that lightning in a bottle of a WrestleMania match a handful of times. Where it's not just like, oh, that was a really good, WrestleMania match on a not so good WrestleMania card. This was not that. This was an absolutely amazing WrestleMania match that, is in probably like top 10 WrestleMania matches of all time, probably top 5 for some people. If you're Chris, probably number 1.
Or maybe.
But yeah, like I think this match absolutely rules. And so I love Triple H, but I go Cena, Shawn.
For a long time, I held a grudge against this match for obvious reasons, because I'm a Shawn Michaels fan. And because I feel like Shawn Michaels really put Cena in his place in this match, because it felt like John Cena was riding this wave. He couldn't do anything wrong. And then Shawn, with his cocky attitude and, he is what he is. It's like, all right, rookie. All right, let me show you why I'm the best. Shawn brought him to another level in this match. I said just a few minutes ago that the Raw match is better, but hands down, the best WrestleMania match of John Cena's career is against the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, from WrestleMania 23. A match, again, like I said, that wasn't even supposed to happen. John Cena and Shawn Michaels were tag team champions when this match happened. But nonetheless, that is the winner of the March Madness John Cena style